In the world of art, some names are whispered like secrets. They travel on the wind from small towns to bustling cities, carrying stories of quiet rebellion and profound feeling. One such name is Bordo. This is the chosen name of Mateo Balaban, a Croatian writer and painter. His story is not one of sudden fame or loud proclamations. Instead, it is a steady, persistent hum of creation that has echoed for years from two distinct places: the windswept island of Krk and the inland town of Virovitica. These two landscapes have shaped the soul of his work, giving it a unique, dual-sided quality. Mateo Balaban's life is a testament to the power of dedicated practice. He measures his days not in hours, but in pages written and canvases filled. His output is staggering, a quiet accumulation of immense creative energy. Over the years, he has painted more than 600 paintings. Each one is a world unto itself, a map of feeling rendered in texture and color. Alongside this visual torrent, he has authored 5 books. These are not separate endeavors, but two rivers flowing from the same source. His words, his images, are in constant conversation, each illuminating the other, creating a body of work that is deeply integrated and whole. To understand Bordo is to understand a man who searches for empathy in a world that often seems to have forgotten its meaning. His art is not an escape from the harshness of reality. It is a direct confrontation with it, a determined effort to look at what is fragile, what is chaotic, what is broken, and find a way to hold it, to name it, to transform it. He uses his brush and his pen as tools for reckoning. He peels back the layers of noise and distraction that define modern life, asking us to slow down, to feel, and to pay attention to the small electric moments of human vulnerability that connect us all. This is not art made for shock or for spectacle. It is art made for connection. It is an invitation to step into a space where feeling is given priority, where the quiet struggles of the human spirit are treated with the same gravity as grand political statements. Bordo's work insists that our capacity to feel for one another is not a weakness, but our most essential strength. Through his prolific creation, he has built a vast and deeply personal archive of this search. A search for light in the darkness, for order in the chaos, and for a language that can speak to the heart. The number itself is almost difficult to comprehend: 600 paintings. It suggests a relentless drive, a daily commitment to the act of creation that few artists ever achieve. For Bordo, the canvas is a space for emotional labor. It is a field where he wrestles with the complexities of the human condition, one layer of paint at a time. Working primarily with acrylics, his technique is both physical and intuitive. He doesn't just apply color, he works the surface. He uses washes that bleed into one another like memories, scrapes away layers to reveal what lies beneath, and builds up thick impasto that gives his work a raw, tactile presence. The result is a surface that feels alive. Look closely at one of his paintings. You will see more than just an abstract composition. You will see a history. The stains and scratches resemble the weathering of a stone wall, the erosion of a coastline, or the subtle lines etched onto human skin over a lifetime. His canvases are maps of feeling, charting a course through moments of turmoil, peace, and quiet revelation. He often works with a deliberately restrained palette, favoring dense, ambiguous tones that pull the viewer in. But within these fields of darkness, there is almost always a subtle shift towards light, a small, luminous moment that offers a sense of hope or resolution. This journey from darkness to light is a central metaphor in his visual work. Many of his pieces begin in shadow, in the murky depths of a difficult emotion. They explore the chaos, the confusion, the feeling of being lost. but through a process of layering, scraping, and repeated gestures, a path emerges. It is a slow, methodical process of making the chaotic legible and making the fragile visible. His paintings are not loud declarations, but quiet, persistent whispers. They don't shout for your attention. They invite you to stay a while, to look closer, and to allow the feelings they evoke to wash over you without judgment. This relentless output is not about mass production. It is about a disciplined search for truth. Each of the 600 canvases is a distinct moment of reckoning, a singular attempt to capture an elusive feeling or thought. Seen together, they form a powerful visual diary of an artist committed to his craft and to his ethical mission. They show a man returning day after day to the fundamental questions of existence. How do we stay open in a world that tries to close us down? How do we find freedom in the midst of chaos? And how can a simple act of painting become a radical act of empathy? The creative energy that powers Bordo's 600 paintings also flows into his writing. He's written 5 books, and each one is a super important part of his art world. Foundation, Bordo, author of Chaos, The Road Has No Empathy, Fragments of a Former Empire, Kum and An, are collections of poems and short stories. They work as great books on their own, but they also go hand in hand with his visual art. They're like the other half of a conversation, the voice that puts words to the feelings his paintings give you. His writing isn't just an extra thing he does, it's the main support for all his creative work. In his writing, Mateo balances being really honest and open with sharp, clear bits of wisdom. His poems are often tight, picture-based comparisons that hit with sudden clarity. A view from a window on the 4th floor. A train track stretching into the distance, the feeling of rain on your skin. These everyday pictures become ways to explore deep feelings and big ideas. He asks what true freedom really requires, not as a huge political idea, but as a small daily act of being ourselves. He writes about love with a gentleness that treats personal weaknesses as politically important. When his paintings are shown with his writings, something special happens. The painting gives you a place to feel, a wordless space of pure emotion and texture. Then the poem enters that space and gently guides the feeling toward thought. The words don't explain the painting. They make it come alive. They open new ways to understand it, letting you experience the art from a different angle. This back and forth is key to his shows, which mix art displays, live readings, performances, and movies. The goal is a full experience that pulls you in and uses your senses and your brain equally. In the end, Bordo's 5 books help him make art that matters for how we live and how we treat each other. His writing is political without being preachy. It insists the rhythm of words, like choosing a color, is a moral choice. It's a way of showing care. Through his words, he breaks down the things inside us and outside us that dull our capacity to feel for others. He writes to bring that ability back, to remind us we all have weaknesses, and to say that in a noisy world, the most powerful thing you can do is speak or paint a simple, honest truth. Some artists are born in museums, their eyes trained from infancy on the works of the masters. Others are born in quiet rooms with expansive views that become a first canvas. Mateo Balaban, the man who would become Bordo, belongs to the second group. His journey began in a simple 4th-floor living room in Via Vitica. This room was more than a home. It was an observatory where a young boy watched the world unfold. Framed by the geometry of a window, the foundational images of his creative vocabulary took shape. From this high perch, the view was stark, unadorned beauty. Instead, a landscape of quiet poetry. Open fields stretching to the horizon, roads cutting through them like veins. This view became his first teacher. It taught him about line, perspective, and the subtle shifts of colour. He watched clouds gather and disperse, painting the sky in greys, whites and blues. This was not much, he would later write, but it was everything. A world inside a window frame, a private cinema of the everyday. The fourth-floor apartment was modest, but the view felt infinite. A portal to a state of mind, a place where imagination could roam free beyond walls and ceilings. He called this view his freedom. Not freedom from something, but freedom to something. The freedom to observe, the freedom to imagine and to feel. A space where fields touch clouds, where real and imagined blurred, grounding the artist he would become. The fourth-floor view became a recurring motif in his work, a symbol of an internal space where one can be, free from sadness and free from lies. Just beyond the open fields that dominated the view from his fourth-floor window, the railroad. For a boy growing up in an inland town, the train tracks were a lifeline to the world beyond. They were a physical manifestation of movement, of departure and arrival, of connection and distance. He grew up, as his poem Freedom states, counting all the trains. This simple act was more than just a way to pass the time. Each train that passed was a story, a mystery, a collection of unknown faces and untold destinations. The railroad cut a sharp, decisive line through the soft, organic expanse of the fields. This visual contrast, the rigid, man-made structure against the wild, open land, became a powerful metaphor in his mind. It represented the tension between order and chaos, between the paths laid out for us and the untamed wilderness of our own potential. The trains ran on a schedule, a predictable and reassuring presence, yet they also symbolized the unknown, the possibility of escape, the allure of a world just out of reach. The sounds of the railroad were as important as the sight of it. The distant rumble, the mournful cry of the whistle, the rhythmic clatter of wheels on steel. These were the soundtrack to his youth. They were sounds of promise and of melancholy, the music of a world in constant motion. This auditory landscape seeped into his consciousness, influencing the cadence of his poetry and the gestural rhythms of his painting. This landscape of railroads and open fields shaped him in profound ways. It gave him his central motifs: the road, the journey, the horizon, the tension between confinement and escape. It taught him that a single view can contain the whole world, that a simple line can tell a complex story. The boy counting trains from his window was learning to be an artist. He was learning to see the poetry in the mundane, the drama in the everyday, and the universal human longing for connection and freedom that is embodied in the simple, powerful image of a train disappearing over the horizon, leaving only the memory of its passing and the echo of its song. In the world of Mateo Balaban, the weather is never just weather. It is an emotional state, a character, a vital part of the narrative, and no element is more central to his identity than the rain. He doesn't just write about the rain, he claims it as his origin. Well, wind doesn't know I was born in the rain, he writes, a poetic statement and a declaration of identity. Growing up in Virovitica, he learned to love the rain. He loved to see the clouds gather, a sign of the coming drama. He loved to feel the sound of it, a percussive, cleansing music that washed over the fields and the town. For the young Balaban, it was a source of comfort and inspiration. The rain created an atmosphere of introspection, a natural invitation to turn inward, to think and to feel. The symbolism of rain in his work is complex and multifaceted. It is at once a symbol of pain and of cleansing, of loss and of renewal. In his poem Freedom, a loved one walked away from the rain, linking the element to a moment of profound personal loss. Yet, in the same breath, he embraces it as his own. This duality captures the essence of his artistic mission: to stay with difficult feelings rather than fleeing from them. The rain represents the full spectrum of human emotion, the sorrow that drenches the soul, but also the life-giving water that allows for new growth. To be born in the rain is to be born into this complexity, to accept it and to build a life's work from it. This deep connection to rain explains the textures and moods of his paintings. His use of washes, drips and layered semi-transparent surfaces often mimics the effect of rain on a window pane or a weathered wall. The name Rain Bordo is a constant reminder of this core principle. It is a promise to the viewer that the work will not shy away from the storm. It will stand in the downpour, find the beauty in the greyness, and listen for the truth that can only be heard when the world is quiet and washed clean. After the journey through the fields of Virovitica, the shores of Krk, the layers of the canvas and the stanzas of the poems, what remains is a clear and compelling invitation. Rain Bordo Mateo Balaban offers more than just a collection of artworks for exhibition. He offers a complete, adaptable, and deeply engaging cultural program. He presents a proven model for transforming a gallery space into a hub of community, dialogue, and profound emotional connection. For galleries, curators, and cultural institutions seeking to present work that is aesthetically powerful, socially relevant, and deeply human, the answer lies in this prolific Croatian artist's extensive and cohesive body of work. What he offers, in practical terms, is flexibility, a rich menu of possibilities. A gallery can host a focused solo show of his paintings, allowing the quiet power of his textured canvases to command the space. These paintings stand on their own, offering a rich, contemplative viewer experience. Installation is straightforward, requiring only standard hanging systems and adjustable lighting to reveal textural details. Simple, elegant, powerful. Alternatively, they can embrace his full vision with a combined gallery and performance program. This could be a single high-impact evening featuring a live reading, film screening and artist talk, designed to draw a large audience and generate significant buzz. Technical needs remain modest. A small reading area with basic PA and a projector and screen for film, features most modern galleries already have. Or it could be a series of durational events, a poetry workshop, a musical performance, a guided tour, each designed to expand audience engagement and offer multiple points of entry. He provides a comprehensive press kit with high-resolution images, detailed bios, and press clippings, ensuring the gallery has all the tools to effectively promote the exhibition. His professionalism and collaborative spirit, honed through years of self-producing events, make him an ideal partner for any curatorial team. Ultimately, the invitation from Rain Bordo is an invitation to slow down, to feel, and to connect. In a world saturated with fleeting digital images and loud, empty proclamations, his work is an anchor. To exhibit Rain Bordo is to do more than just put art on the walls. It is to host a conversation, to build a temporary community, and to offer audiences a rare and precious gift, a space to reckon with the beautiful, chaotic, and fragile business of being alive. The work is ready. The artist is willing. The world is waiting. Final shot, Mateo Balaban in his studio holding a book. We have journeyed from the fourth-floor window in Virovitica to the cliffside town of Verbnik, from the percussive pulse of a rock band to the silent labor of a painter's studio. We have traced the lines of the railroad tracks and the scars on the canvas, listened to the whisper of poetry and the roar of pain. What emerges from this comprehensive exploration is a portrait of an artist not just of immense productivity, but of profound integrity. Mateo Balaban, through his chosen persona, Bordo, has constructed a vast and cohesive artistic universe from the raw materials of his own life, a universe held together by a single, unwavering purpose: to reckon with the world through the practice of empathy. His work is a testament to a life spent looking, feeling and creating with relentless honesty. 600 paintings, 5 books are not just numbers. They are the physical evidence of a disciplined and sustained commitment to a singular vision. Each canvas, with its layers of texture and its journey from darkness to light, is a self-contained act of reckoning. Each poem, with its compressed imagery and raw emotionality, is a key that unlocks another room in this sprawling architecture of feeling. When seen together, they are more than the sum of their parts. They form a powerful, unified body of work that speaks to the most fundamental aspects of the human condition. Our search for freedom, our struggle with chaos, our deep-seated need for connection, and the persistent, fragile hope that keeps us moving forward. Bordo's art is a direct and necessary response to the alienation of modern life. In a world that prizes speed, efficiency and superficiality, his work is a radical act of slowing down. It asks us to be patient, to look closer, to listen more carefully. It challenges the numbness that so often serves as a defense mechanism against the world's harshness and invites us to re-engage with our own capacity for feeling. His practice is a quiet insistence that our vulnerability is not a weakness to be hidden, but the very source of our strength and our shared humanity. He is not just a painter or a writer. He is a cartographer of the soul, mapping the difficult terrain of our inner lives so that we might navigate it with a little more courage and a little more grace. To engage with the work of Bordo is to be reminded of the profound social and ethical power of art. It is to witness an artist who has dedicated his life to forging tools for connection from the materials of his own experience. He has built a bridge between the solitary world of the creator and the communal world of the audience, a bridge sturdy enough to carry the weight of our most difficult emotions. His body of work is not a final destination, but a point of departure, a vast and generous resource for anyone interested in the vital questions of how we live, how we feel, and how we care for one another in a complex and often unfeeling world. He has done the work. The next step is for the world to meet him there. So we arrive at the end, which is, in fact, a beginning. It is an open door. It is a hand extended. This has been the story of Bordo Mateo Balaban, an artist who has tirelessly built a world from 600 paintings, 5 books, and a lifetime of paying attention. The invitation is clear and direct, intended for the curator who seeks more than just decoration, for the institution that believes in the social power of art, and for the audience that hungers for authentic connection. Bordo offers a complete and proven artistic ecosystem, a rich and adaptable program, ready to be deployed in any space, willing to host a genuine human conversation. His work is a ready-made catalyst for engagement, a powerful tool for any gallery looking to deepen its relationship with its community. The press kit is prepared, the technical requirements are modest, and the artist's willingness to collaborate is boundless. To bring Rain Bordo's work to your gallery is to make a statement. It is to declare that you value depth over spectacle, honesty over hype, and connection over commerce. The contact channels are open. The website, www.rainbordo.com, serves as a comprehensive portal. His Instagram, Rain Bordo, is a living, breathing testament to his daily practice. The journey that began on the 4th floor, counting trains under a rainy sky, has led to this moment. It is a call to connection, an invitation to participate in a remarkable artistic project that is still unfolding, still growing, and still asking the most important questions. The work is ready. The artist is waiting. The invitation is yours to accept.